The Business Bully Podcast is being brought to you by Audible. With over 180,000 titles to choose from, Audible is your go-to for major information if you're trying to build your business. You can also get ready to get the brand new audiobook, Pitch, Close, Upsell, Repeat, a practical guide to sales dominance. It will be available coming this summer, so make sure you go right now. Get your 30-day free trial and a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/bully. Now let's go ahead and get this party started.
He's been an award-winning media personality and producer. As a speaker, he's empowered over 1 million people from the stage. Now, one of the leading brand experts and business coaches in the U.S. is bringing his unique brand of straight talk to the world of on-demand audio. It's the Business Bully Podcast. Now, here's the Business Bully himself, David Anderson.
Yes, indeedy, feed the needy. I am here to make sure you ain't being greedy. But greed is a good thing. What's up, people? This is the Business Bully Podcast. It's been a long time. I should have left you, but I had some real important stuff to tend to. So listen, before I really get in, let me go ahead and give some love to my sponsors. First and foremost, the Benson Watch Company. Absolutely. The most beautiful watch company in the world. Black owned and operated by, guess who? This guy. That's right. I now own the Benson Watch Company. So make sure that you understand that me and my genius partner / creator, Marcel Benson, are about to take over the world. We are changing your things. If you're sitting around here spending your money on Rolexes and things like that, you're a moron. You need to start spending your money on something that's real. And by the way, ain't no ticking and talking in this thing right here, man. So you love watches. It's a great gift for dads and grads. You know, you got Mother's Day coming up. You got prom season coming up. Stop worrying about renting that car and start worrying about getting your kid a timepiece that's awesome. And by the way, if you go on my site, I'm actually going to put up some pictures of this beauty right here. This is a limited edition Business Bully sweeping movement timepiece. It also has my name on it, so it's absolutely awesome. Make sure that you get it. That's right. And if you want to check out some of those fabulous Benson watches, go to bensonwatch.com and we will get it in, people. Oh yes, because our time is now, and it's all about the movement. So make sure you get yours. That's right, baby. See, we're gonna get into that too. Also, I want to let you know the Business Bully Podcast is being brought to you by Lift Momentum. Lift Mango, absolutely amazing hydration powder. It is GMO-free, certified vegan. It is absolutely awesome. You don't have to drink 8 million gallons of water. I'm telling you, because what happens is a lot of the water that you're drinking, you're just peeing out. It's not really helping you flush out your system, but with Lift Mango, it is absolutely going to help you feel more hydrated, and you're going to get more out of your workouts because your muscles will get that water. Now, of course, these statements have not been verified by the FDA, but they have been bully tested and approved. So you take it, you pour it, you shake it, you drink it, you gotta love it. That's right. Work hard, lift, repeat, baby. It is so good, so good, so good. Shout out to Gene. Shout out to everybody checking me out. Shout out to Myron. Shout out to Sagira. Shout out to Angel. Everybody checking me out on Facebook Live and listening to the show. Now, there's a couple of things I want to address. Let's talk about the elephant in the room and not the one with the mohawk. Boom. I want to talk to you right now about the people who are talking to me in my inbox, because some of y'all in my inbox real effed up. And here's what I mean. And when I say effed up, I'm not talking about the F that follows with the UCK. I'm talking about the FEARED upped people. That's right. Y'all are feared up. You are afraid. And I'm going to tell you why you're afraid. Because you have been conditioned. Because whether you are black, white, red, green, or one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater, you sure look scary to me. Because you're scared. And you've been conditioned to be scared. You are conditioned to play small because someone told you that you need to be humble. That humility is great. That hubris is horrible. But let me tell you something. If you go out and you look around the world, if you go and you see people who have statues erected to them, you see people who have their faces on dollar bills, those people were not humble people. They took bold, decisive, consistent action. So why would you do anything less? You got people telling you to downplay yourself. Why? Because they can't do what you do. You have to recognize jealousy in all of its forms. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Myron in the chat room. He just said, Dave, I fired my boss 2 weeks ago. Oh, I got to give that man the biggest claps right now. Oh, I'm about to clap it up for you, sir. Oh my goodness. Round of applause for Myron. Yes, that's right. We out here firing bosses, people. I'm telling you right now, you fire your boss, you won't take a loss. I'm here to tell you, I understand. Because it's funny, I was just having this conversation with my wife today. She was talking about when you look back at your career, the funny thing is, everybody got all this stuff to say about you after you're gone. Don't nobody want to say it to your face. And people always say, oh, well, he's too aggressive and he's too bold and he's too this and he's too that. Listen, my last gig, the gig I retired from, they told me I was spending way too much time posting on social media, although I became the first director of social media for that company. And although everything that I did now is company policy, it's not a matter of me being too bold or me too aggressive. That's me understanding what's in front of me. That's me understanding that there are certain ways that people are going to communicate. And I don't care if you're meeting at the library every Saturday at 3 o'clock, or if you're meeting on Facebook Live every day at 3:30. The fact remains the same, that I am going to go where the people are, because that is it. And if you decide to trade me, buy out my contract, let me go, whatever the case may be, I'm taking the bully club with me. So many of you do not win because you do not have a tribe. The reason you don't have a tribe is because you do not control the narrative. You don't control the narrative because you've not engaged people enough to let them know what it is that you're capable of. And a big part of that comes down to this fear that has been indoctrinated in you. I'll be damned. So if you come to me and you start saying this, Mr. Anderson, well, I'm just afraid because I'm not very photogenic. Well, look at me. Let's just be real. From the first chin up, I am gorgeous. Now, from the third chin down, I'm working on it. But let me tell you something. With this above average mug and this really below average body, I have a gorgeous wife, 2 beautiful children, I own a watch company. I'm going on tour this summer. I'm making moves, not faking moves. And a lot of y'all are following people who are faking moves. Not that they don't have money because they scam people out of it, but they have money because they have given you the image that they're doing it and they make it look easy. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not easy being an entrepreneur. No, it's not. It is hard back breaking work. And no, it's not for everybody. What up, John Charles? John Charles has known me since I was 11 years old, and he will tell you I have always been this way. I am going to shout out to people. If you're listening to me, on a delay, or you're listening to me just on the podcast, or you're picking it up on All Hip Hop, I apologize if I stop and I shout out to people. But I shout out to everybody who goes to the podcast. If you go to iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you listen to podcasts, and you give me a 5-star rating, I will read whatever it is you say. Even if you say Dave's a fat, ugly son of a bitch, I don't care. Why? Because I'm about that 5 stars. It's about results, people. So let me break this down to you. There are people, I'm going to start naming names because you're not going to like it, but it's not from a place of bitterness. It's from a place of facts, and I got the screenshots to prove it. Grant Cardone, who I admire, who I think is a great guy, followed me on Twitter for 2 years, all of a sudden stopped following me. All of a sudden, certain things that I was saying just started to pop out of that man's mouth. But because he's been at it a lot longer than I have, and because he's been out there saying these things, people sit around and just believe it. I'm like, yo, I said that. That's me. You know what I mean? Like, I have no reason to lie. But you'll buy into it because he shows you the private jets. He shows you all these things. And all you think he's doing is selling books and courses. What he doesn't tell you is that he owns lots of land, that he has lots of properties that he spins off, and rental properties and things of that nature. And he also has an army of salespeople who sell for him. So when you're looking at the entire picture, you realize that the illusion is just that. So let's move on from Grant, because like I said, I respect Grant, but the truth is the truth. The man followed me, and all of a sudden he unfollowed me, and all of a sudden my words were in his mouth. Tai Lopez. If you're not familiar with Tai Lopez, what up to the K? Got to do the K dance for the K. Tai Lopez. If you're not familiar with Tai Lopez is one of these gurus, and he has this 7-step system or a 5-step system. But me, Eric Thomas, Shalina Diva, there's a whole bunch of coaches who happen to have the same skin that is different from Tai's, but us collectively have the same skin. And we began to notice some funny things on our YouTube pages. We began to notice that every time one of our YouTube videos ran, right before it ran, here's a Tai Lopez ad. So Tai Lopez is doing what rappers have done for years. Tai Lopez will go and he will rent out a beautiful mansion for the day. He'll go on Craigslist and find some videographer and pay them for the day. All this is alleged, but I mean, you can kind of put 2 and 2 together. And he will go out and show you his Rolls Royce, which is probably rented. And he will put on this air as if he has all these things and folks buy into it. I ain't gonna do that. I'm not going to put on no airs. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. The difference between me and him is I'm authentic, and I built my 2.4 million views authentically, not on anybody else's back. Not a Les Brown, not a Ricky Smiley, not a George Wallace, not a none of them. I built it off of me doing exactly what I'm doing right now. Talking to you in your ear, looking you dead in the eye and telling you this is what I believe. These are my truths. You don't have to agree with them. You do not have to subscribe to them. But it's not fair for you to try and piggyback off of me and other people who happen to be black so that you can go ahead and get your black quota up. I got a problem with that. I do have a problem with that. You don't have to like my methods. You don't have to like what I say. But what I do want you to do is see if you can actually argue with my results. And most of you cannot. And therein lies the difference. I am very consistent in what it is that I do. The reason that many of you who claim to be entrepreneurs or would like to be entrepreneurs are having problems is, number one, you're following behind what everybody else is doing. Number two, you're believing gurus who don't give a damn about you. And number three, you too scared. My brother told me this a long time ago, way before he became a cop and went to college and all that other stuff. Before, when I was a little boy, my brother used to tell me all the time, scared money don't make no money. When I got to college, before I get dropped off at the door, I remember my brother saying to me, look, it's 3-to-1 here. It's 3-to-1 girls to guy ratio. So, in other words, you got to put your bid in. You got to shoot to get shot. In other words, if you don't want to be a lonely dude, if you don't want to be, a lame, a cornball, sitting around here, just, watching the whole world go by, you got to start talking to people. You got to start campaigning. And that's what I did. I was not a promiscuous dude, but I did make sure I had a date when I wanted one. And that's the difference. A lot of y'all who are smarter than me, more articulate than I am, who are better looking than I am, who have better products and services and probably can outright me under the table, won't open your mouth. And you won't open your mouth because you're scared. And see, the difference between me and you is not that I don't have fear, it's that I don't let fear control me. Y'all are paralyzed. Y'all are literally petrified by fear. You might as well be a tree, just stand there and just hang out and let your branches walk. That's what you do. You are afraid to death of making it happen. You're afraid to death that somebody's going to judge you. You're afraid to death that your mama going to have something to say. You're afraid to death that the people that you went to high school with who are doing whatever it is that they want to do, i.e. working for somebody that they really don't like, because 87% of Americans go to jobs that they hate. You're so worried about what they're going to say. And let me let you in on a little secret. To quote the highest paid actor in history, it doesn't matter what they say if you smell what the Rock is cooking. So in other words, you got to stop letting all these outside forces live rent-free in your head. That's where they are. And what you do is you got a big sign on your head like the Krispy Kreme Donuts factory saying, hot moron now, come on in. And you let people just crawl up in there. And they check in and they treat your brain like a roast motel. Idiots get in, but they don't check out because you don't let them out. You let them come on in, but you won't let them out. Then, here's the thing. You then will complain and bitch and moan about you being broke. But you acting like you need cable. You don't need cable. You can cut the cord. We got Fire Sticks. We got Apple TVs. We got jailbroken Fire Sticks. You got Kodi. You got Netflix, Hulu. There's a whole lot of options out here, man. I feel like I'm daggone Shirley Caesar's green beans, potatoes, tomatoes, Hulu's, Netflix, you name it. That's what it is that misses your brain because it's occupied by lesser people who don't have the gifts that God's indoctrinated you with. Oh, I'm so sorry if this is real for some of you, but for some of you that is actually hitting and you're receiving it, I dare you to share this. I dare you to get this out. I dare you to not be selfish and tell people this work that you're getting. I also dare you to come forward with what it is that you're afraid of, because a lot of you are extremely afraid. Oh, let's get this out of the way too, okay? I am sick of you. And if this applies to you, I want you to stick it in your ass. I am sick of you talking about how unprofessional Dave Anderson is. Not that I care, but when you do that, what you do is you're taking a shot at the big dog so that everybody else who is trying to get where the big dog is going is, hey, Angel and everybody who shared the video, thank you. When you're trying to get to where the big dog is going, what you're doing is saying, well, if the big dog has these issues and the big dog's unprofessional, well, then I must not be professional too. So let me go put on a suit Let me go get a respectable hairdo. Let me cover up my natural hair, ladies, and put some hair that came from India or Taiwan or Outer Mongolia, wherever you folks are getting your hair supply from. I don't know. I'm not into that. But what I am saying is, the thing about me is that I am authentically me. My mohawk is a part of me because it is an affront to people who feel like you have to be a professional and you have to look a certain way in order to get things done. That does not make me better than you, but it does make me more secure than you. I'm never, ever, 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 until I see fit, and I don't see fit no time soon, I'm never cutting this mohawk. I am never trimming this beard. I remember when I was working at ADT, that's right, I'm calling out names because I'm done playing nice with y'all. When I was working at ADT, my supervisor at the time says to me, well, Anderson, you know what? I think your beard is unprofessional. I'm like, really? So why is this you haven't said that to Rabinowitz or McGillicuddy? You know? Oh, well, Rabinowitz and McGillicuddy have very manicured beards. I'm like, bullshit, their beards are out their hair. They look like white freeway. But you're trying it with me because I'm black, and I'm not going to allow it, and I kept my damn beard. And that's when I started the clock on ADT. That's the difference. See, the power you have comes from your ability to walk away from the table at any given moment. But you won't because you're afraid, oh, well, what if I lose my benefits? Great question. Allow me to answer that for you. Trump ain't done nothing with Obamacare, probably won't do anything with Obamacare because people didn't realize when they were voting against Obamacare by voting Trump in that the Affordable Care Act is what they have, and that's Obamacare. Smarten up, Buttercup. There are plenty of options out here, and people will take your money. Not to mention, there's another illusion, and that is the illusion of paying taxes. You are not required by law to pay taxes. You are required by law to file them. So you might want to get with somebody who understands the tax code. If you do not have an accountant, H&R Block ain't going to cut it if you're trying to be a business person. I don't understand that. Thanks, Felicia, for sharing. Thanks, James, for sharing. But I need you to get this work. When I'm working with my group, every single week in the Business Bully Club, I'm pushing them to do uncomfortable things. Y'all are stuck because you're uncomfortable. And then you won't get help. And then you won't improve on it. You won't work on your speaking skills. You won't work on your editing skills. You won't work on your live presentation. You are so busy about trying to get everything right. You don't even have, you have procrastination constipation. And it's ridiculous. Shavana says, happened to me in corporate, wanted to promote me, but said my hair was too ethnic. Okay, let's get something straight. Scientifically, a Jewish man several years ago determined that African DNA does not have any white DNA does. These are scientific facts from a white man, not from me. So therefore, if anybody's hair is ethnic, it's the white people, not the black people. So they can take that talk and those code words because they're always on code. Oh, well, you know, your hair is too ethnic. It's unkempt. I don't like the way it looks. Is that how you're going to wear your hair? Is that the outfit you're going to wear? Yes, the hell it is. You want to know why? Because people ain't paying for my outfit. They ain't paying for my hair. They're paying for my results. So as long as my results are lining up, then there's the issue. The only time my hair should come into play is if I'm serving food, and we got hair nets for that. So you want to stop playing small on my watch. I'm not going to allow it. Now, and this is another thing, okay? The business bully concept is a concept. It doesn't mean that I'm going to punch you in the mouth if you don't start registering your LLC. I'm going to talk about you like a dirty dog, but I'm not a violent dude. I ain't had to be violent since 11th grade. You know what I mean? The difference is that I am aggressive, and I'm aggressive because I have to be. Because people do not understand the importance of actually asserting yourself. See, when you have white people in America and they're bold and they go for what they know when they drop out of school, they're celebrated. Zuckerberg, Jobs, all of them are celebrated. Kanye drops out of school. Oh, he's a lunatic. Kanye says he wants to change fashion. He's crazy. And while I don't agree with everything that Kanye says, I agree with 95% on what he does, because at least he's going for it. At least he's being authentically himself, which is more than what I could say for a lot of y'all. When a woman, especially a black woman, is being assertive, oh, she's all types of bitches. But the funny thing is, and this is one black woman you're going to have to forgive me on, but I'm going to tell the truth and shame all these devils today. When a black man will sit there and call you a bitch because you won't give him your phone number, you will read him the riot act up, down, erase him, and rewrite him a new one. When a white man who is your boss, aka new master, tells you that you're being a bitch or you're being too bossy, you'll take it and say, thank you, sir, may I have another? That's why I shout out the women who worked at Fox News who built a nice little case up and started to get themselves a nice lawyer to make it happen. So you want to assert yourself, but then you want to work under somebody else, but you're miserable every single day. Why are you miserable every single day? You're miserable every single day because you're not living in your purpose, in your heart, and your soul, and your spirit, know it, but you too trapped in your mind to come to terms with that. Too trapped in your thought process to come to terms with that. See, being broke is a choice. And I know somebody saying, oh, well, you don't understand my bill. Oh, I don't? Let's talk bills, shall we? $60,000, the amount I had to pay in student loans. $130,000, the amount of my condo. What else? I got a kid getting ready to go to Howard. Oh, that's $10,000 a year. That's not even counting food, clothes, and hair, and nails, makeup, any of that other dumb stuff. So miss me with the BS. You know what I mean? Like, everybody got bills. It's still a choice. It's still a mindset. You have been given 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 very large mouth that you choose to keep on mute. You choose to keep it low because you don't want to disturb anything. That's funny. You ever made Kool-Aid? You know how Kool-Aid is made? You take the powder, you put it in the water, you throw in some sugar, and then you stir it. In other words, you disturb it. When you wash your clothes, you take your clothes, you sort them, you separate them, you add in your fabric softener, your Unstoppables, you'll take it there, you're putting your detergent, you'll put it on cold, warm, cold, hot, whatever the case may be. You throw your clothes in, and all of a sudden there's this big thing in the middle called the agitator. The agitator is what gets the clothes clean. I'm so sorry. Ever had a smooth table you sat down on? If it's made of wood, guess what? It had to be sanded down. You know what they do with a power sander? They take a piece of sandpaper, they put it on the edge of the sander goes zzz, and the sawdust is flying everywhere. But when it's done and you blow away the sawdust, then the surface is smooth. I'm so sorry if Dave Anderson is agitating you, but guess what, people? I'm trying to clean up, polish, and sand your dusty asses off into something smooth and recognizable that looks like a business. Your kids will thank me for it. You ain't got to like it. That's cool. I ain't putting a gun to your head and telling you come join the Business Bully Club at bit.ly/do join the bully. Because I know most of you won't. Because most of you are scared. Not of Dave Anderson, but of the facts that Dave Anderson will point out. Ladies and gentlemen, I am nothing but a humble servant. I am what's called a mirror. All I do is reflect what you're putting out. And some of y'all are putting out some butt ugly, you told Harpo to beat me BS. And I'm frankly sick of it. Because then you're in my inbox talking about, oh, well, Mr. Anderson, I just don't know what to do. And then, my personal favorite, oh, Mr. Anderson, I've been hurt before. I'm not sound asleep with you. I don't care. You've been hurt before. I've been hurt before. You know what? I was so hurt. You know what I'm saying? I had to fire folks from my life. And then I upgraded, found myself a good wife, and kept it pushing. So I have no interest in your, oh my gosh, I've been so hurt. I just don't want to be damaged by a coach. Listen, man, I ain't never been sued. My results speak for themselves. I don't want to be your boyfriend. I don't want to be your buddy. I'm your coach. And as the coach, I got to tell you to run these plays because what you're doing right now, you're running, taking the ball, and going into the other team's end zone. You're scoring touchdowns for the enemy. Then you go to the enemy and say, please, boss. I's want to get a raise, boss, because I's like to have another baby if that's all right with you, boss. Maybe if you just let me out, maybe I can take a vacation, boss. Maybe I can go taking my wife to a doctor's appointment, boss. Boss. You're hustling backwards and you don't know why you're losing. And when I tell you why you're losing, you're telling me it's everything but that. But if it was everything but that, and you got all the answers, then why are you still losing? Let that one sink in for a minute. So, here's my issues, because I'm not done. Because we're gonna have all of this out. We're going to have all of this out because I'm not done. And I ain't going to be done for a minute. So y'all might want to go ahead and get your popcorn, get your Lift Momentum ready. It's mango flavored. It's delicious. You might want to set your Benson watch. And you might want to get ready to get this work. I had to take a swig for the team. Let me tell you something. You will inevitably, inherently place a limiting fear on your children because of the whack, pink panty thong wearing, sucker soft attitude you have. Oh, Did that hurt a bit? It's true. You're robbing your children from greatness. Do you know why most people make it in this country? Most people make it in this country, the people who made it in this country, they made it because they've had, let's just review, a life insurance policy that then when they died, because they weren't selfish, they made sure that policy was so large that that policy would be able to take care of their children and their children's children. The Bible, which most of you swear by, that you don't read unless pastor tell you to read this page, and you turn that to it because he's spinning it so that you make sure that you give him your 10%, but your electric bill is going off, not being paid. The pastor will tell you to go here and go there, but you're not going where you need to go. You're not reading the whole thing for what it is. Proverbs 4:7 says, in all thy getting, get an understanding. But you won't do that. Oh, but you know John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, so that you would not perish but have everlasting life. It also says, be ye either cold or hot, never lukewarm, or I shall spit you out of me. In other words, if you've ever had a lukewarm bottle of water, it's gross. Cold, hot, I can deal with. Lukewarm, I can't mess with you. In other words, if you're sitting on the fence, you're going to get your butt poked. That's what you're missing. And that's what you're not in tune with. Because you're focused on the wrong things. So they build wealth by having an insurance policy to take care of generations. It's called generational wealth. Y'all got mad at Donald Trump because his daddy gave him $1 million. My question is, why can't you give your kids $1 million? Why is it you can't get $1 million from your parents? Because it's called selfishness. So many of us are living for today. Y'all living for red bottoms, but you're not looking at the fact that you have a red bottom line. Your bottom line ain't in the black. So I am so sorry if this sermon right here is hitting you in the neck. But I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of having to say the same thing over and over and over again. You wouldn't believe it. Even my students in the bully club sometimes, until I set their behind straight, will say to me, well, Mr. Anderson, I just feel like it shouldn't be this way. And I feel like this should happen. Or I feel like this shouldn't happen. Or I feel like if the stars just align like this. Well, guess what? I feel like right now I should go be a Speedo model, but I guarantee you Speedo ain't going to hire my chubby butt. Maybe if I didn't, have so many cheesesteaks as a kid, it'd be a different type of situation. But that's just what it is. But still, you'll hit me up in my inbox. You cannot pick my brain. No, I'm not here for brain picking. We're not doing brain picking anymore. My brain picking days are over. Sorry. Because what I do and what I make makes value. It brings value. You want to pick my brain? Buy a copy of this. Buy Pitch, Close Up, Sell, Repeat. You want to pick my brain? Why don't you join the Business Bully Club? Ain't but $50. Why can't you look deeper? But see, you won't. And then the thing that kills me, people say, well, why is it that there's so many women, in the Business Bully Club, but not a lot of men? A lot of men can't stand the fact that maybe, just maybe, they have an issue with penis measuring. In other words, because I am sure of who I am and they are not sure of who they are, they get upset when I'm coming off as an authority. Sorry. I earned every one of these lashes I got on my back. I earned every last cut I got on my hands. I have earned every last dollar I've gotten, and I will be damned if you feel upset because I'm just a little too raw for you. The reason that women gravitate towards me is because, number one, they know I don't want nothing from them. Number two, they know that I'm going to tell them the truth. And number three, I am not here for anything other than your greatness, because when you get great, you're going to sit up there and you're going to take your award. You're going to go, I would like to thank Jesus. I'd like to thank my mama. And I'd like to thank that crazy mohawk and real talk and living fully business bully, Dave Anderson. Because without you, Dave, this might not have been possible. And I'm grateful. That's why I do this. I don't have a dog in the fight. I have no reason to lie to you. And if I'm telling you you're playing small, you're playing small. And if it's your type of delivery, come get this bully club work, because I don't see you in the club yet. You're not in the club? I don't know what to tell you. Jay Taylor's in the building. My brother Jay Taylor, arguably the best artist of our time that y'all ain't never heard of. Artbyjtaylor.com. Get into it. He's dope. He did the cover for Sell It Like Jesus, which will be coming out later on this year. I am not about to apologize for what I had to work so hard to get. I am not about to apologize because I am not who you want me to be. And let me tell you something else. Don't you ever in your cartoon life say to me, you know what, you remind me of a black Gary Vaynerchuk, because I take that as a very, very hard insult. Not because I dislike Gary Vaynerchuk. I dislike some of the things that he does. And let me explain, because some of y'all are like, oh no, the business bully's about to talk about Gary Vaynerchuk. Yes, the hell I am. Here's my issue with Gary Vaynerchuk, and we have a lot of mutual friends. We've never met. I don't know him personally. I can only go by what I've seen, and from what I see, I'm disturbed. I am disturbed at the fact that there is a man running around here, and he'll go to Switzerland, and he'll go to Germany, and he'll go to California, and he'll go to Austria. He'll go all these places and speak to people normally and talk about how, his work ethic is this, and this is what he does at VaynerMedia, and he day trades attention. All that's great. My problem is this. My problem is when he goes on the Breakfast Club, when he's talking to black people, then all of a sudden the conversation goes one of three places. It goes to LeBron James, it goes to Beyonce, and it goes to hip hop. That's it. And I'm sorry. I've met LeBron, nice guy. I'm not a fan of him. Yeah, I'm a Sixers fan. Number two, I met Beyonce, nice girl. I buy her records. But number three, the only sport I really follow that intently is professional wrestling. So you're not speaking to me. And I don't think that you subconsciously are paying attention to the fact that you're trying to dumb it down or cool it up. Quote, he said something to the effect of, if I get them to think I'm cool, then they'll want to do what I do and not what the other guys do. But you are doing what the other guys do, Gary. You are. You're pandering to an audience in order to achieve a desired result. And while that may have been effective for you, I see right through you. But because black people tend to think that the white man's ice is colder, they will praise you and then shit on somebody like Dame Dash. When Dame Dash says you can't give a job to your kids if you have that job, if you don't own that job, everybody was all up in arms and talking about all the things that Dame Dash has failed at. My whole thing is Dame Dash has succeeded more than many of you living. But if Gary Vaynerchuk says, you need to go out here and document and don't create, and when he leaves out the fact that he's paying his videographer six figures allegedly to film him every single day of every single waking moment, when he has a trainer, to come to him 24/7, when he has an army of people to do all the cool stuff that he's telling you he's doing by himself, focusing on one thing, which is a blatant lie, allegedly, then y'all are buying it right in. I got a problem with that. Because when somebody black, whether it's me or David Banner or Eric Thomas or Tariq Nasheed or somebody else, they got to be Hotep, they got to be this, that, and the third. But the white man's ice is colder. When the white man sits up here and tells you, race doesn't matter anymore. All people care about is value. No. Most people, 85% of what they care about is value. But race has a lot to do with it. If race didn't have a lot to do with it, then what would happen in this country is black people would not be shaking in their boots if there was a traffic stop that this may be the thing that is going to kill them. They wouldn't be afraid to admit that their business is black owned if race didn't matter, because people have a preconceived notion that has been programmed into them about black businesses being less than. However, people go to Walmart and Target and Rite Aid. Let me tell you something. I went to the post office the other day. Now, there's a post office where I live that is very nice. I know the guy, John. He's been there forever. He's been there since I was 17 years old. Nicest man you'd ever want to meet. Treats me like gold. I can reach across that counter and shake his hand every single time I see him. I went into the hood and I went to the post office, and there were some distinctions that I can't wrap my brain around. I know why they exist. I don't like that they exist. And more importantly than the fact that they exist, I am mad at black people for accepting those differences. And here they are. When I got into the post office in the hood, the first thing I noticed was that there was bulletproof glass encasing the post office. Then you have to push a tube back in order to lift up a window so that you can put your packages in. Then you have to drop that window. Then they push the tube back on their end towards you so that they can lift up the window to take your packages, because they're so afraid of you coming in there and shooting. I'm sorry. The last I checked, the last time a post office got shot up, it was by postal workers, not by black people. So that's one. Number two, there were no clocks on the walls. Number three, there were no pens to be found. Number four, there was no air conditioning. And this was a nice spring day. It was beautiful outside, but it was Soweto circa 1991 inside that post office. I thought I was in a time warp. I was like, Mandela, I do not know what's happening, but it is hot in this post office and all I want to do is send out packages. I was grossly offended. And I wasn't offended at the federal government for doing what the federal government does. I was offended by the people who live in that neighborhood who subject themselves to that type of poor treatment and think that that's okay. Because somebody somewhere beat the hope out of you, beat the aggressiveness out of you, beat the assertiveness out of you, beat the ability to stand up for yourself out of you. And then you wonder why. You can't fathom why you're broke. You can't fathom why things don't improve. And don't get me wrong, Rick Ross. I am proud of the fact that you own 30 Wingstops because each of those Wingstops cost $300,000. I am impressed by that, sir. I am. However, it's going to take more than 30 Wingstops to buy back the hood. Yes, you're giving people in the hood jobs, and I applaud that more than you will ever know. But it is not enough, and it shouldn't all fall on Rick Ross neither. But the truth of the matter is, it's one major cog in a huge machine that really is faulty and needs to be fixed. You can't fix the hood by giving them lemon pepper wings. You can't. I'm so sorry if that's what y'all believe, but to me, that's as bad as those Calvin commercials when I was a teenager and Calvin was going to be an asset to his community because he's coming home smelling like French fries and Big Macs. Are you kidding me right now? My God, seriously? That's what we come down to if you're in the hood, the only thing you can do is work at Wingstop? Really? Stop. Stop. I need you to want better for yourself, but let me tell you what you will do. What up, Cole Hansberry? I see you. What you will do is you'll let mama know that you're going to go to college because you want to make mama proud. You want to go to college without a plan for what you really want to do, because what you really want to do don't necessarily require college in an age where I can literally run an entire business from my phone. You're trying to tell me you need to go to college with people who are outdated at best, whose last real experience outside of matriculation happened in the late 90s, early 2000s? And you're going to take education from them. And I'm not talking about doctors, lawyers, engineers, architects. I'm talking about business owners, because they don't teach you how to be a business owner in college. They teach you how to be a great wage slave, and you fall for it. And if I'm wrong, explain to me the 300,000 MBAs right now who list tending bar as their main profession. Explain it to me. I'll wait. Oh, time's up. You can't. So, what I'm saying to you is there are other options. So let's just talk about the education hustle as a whole. When you get an education, right, you're getting an education. So basically you get your diploma. You've already probably gotten some student loans, because even if you get a scholarship, it don't cover everything, and it don't cover room and board a lot of times, unless you're some type of student athlete, amazing, super, Einstein level genius. You're not going to get exactly everything that you want. Yep. And it gets to a point where you can't do what it is that you want to do. And so what winds up happening is you get stuck, and you can't figure out why. So when you get out of college and oh, by the way, while you're in college, it's laundry day, you don't have any more t-shirts. Well, guess what? There's a pretty little girl or a cute little guy, and he's saying, hey, sign up for this credit card. You don't have to get the credit card, but you get the credit card because, well, damn it, you need the t-shirt. So you get the free t-shirt, then you got the credit card, then you're going to run the credit card up, because no one ever in the entire time that you were in first grade all the way through 12th grade taught you anything about establishing and protecting your credit. They don't even teach you how to write a check. They don't even teach you home ec anymore. They don't teach you woodshop. They don't teach you any type of skills. They just want you to focus on being a good employee. That's why they teach you how to stand in line, how to speak in an orderly fashion, how to respect authority, how to be used to having bathroom breaks and shortening lunch breaks, and do more with less, and live for the weekend. You're taught all of that, and that's indoctrinated in you for 13 years. And then you can't figure out for the life of you why you can't move. So now, not only do you have bad credit card debt, but you've got student loans that, so you're about $35,000, $45,000 in debt. You're 21, 22, 23 years old. You don't know what to do. You're not happy with anything, but mama got that diploma. So now you walk around telling everybody how educated you are, but you plumb dumb as my last nickel. So let me help you some. 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 I'm sorry, it sounded like the record skipped, but it didn't. I'm going to help you some. If you were to take 1 year's tuition and actually build your business, actually use this technology that you use to find out who Keisha Cole is sleeping with, and actually use this technology to find out how you can be an apprentice, how you can get to the next level, how you can take your passion and turn it into profit, take that money and hire a coach. Then, in the 4 years while your friends are running behind and they're talking about their wonderful super duper degrees, you could be talking about, well, I just hired 15 people and I just bought like 5 houses, so I'm buying back the hood for real. But you won't do that. No, you will not do that. The reason you won't do that is because that requires work, and that requires having to be subjected to somebody's thoughts. I had a relative tell me not that long ago, says to me, to my face, well, you know what, David? I know you've been kind of a loose cannon, free spirit, but you really should just get a regular job. And I was like, a regular job? I'm like, oh, that's right, because you haven't Googled me. You haven't read any of the 10 books I wrote last year. You don't understand what it is that I'm doing. You don't understand that people pay me to stand on the stage for an hour, a lot of money. You don't understand that I go to colleges and universities and business conferences and I do coaching programs. You don't understand any of that. So the concept of what I'm doing is so foreign to you. You're still stuck in 1983. And in 1983, people just went and got a good job. And they got a good job with the benefits. And they got a good job with the pension. Well, the average lifespan of anybody at a job is 2.3 years at best. That's why people's resumes are now 2 and 3 and 4 pages. So that doesn't apply to me. But guess what? I just said, okay. And I kept on doing what I'm doing right now. Because I am not going to sit up here and let you think it's that kind of party. Sagir says, please, 99% of people I know with degrees are broke. Yeah, they're broke. You know why? Because no one's ever taught them anything. No one's ever taught them anything. And it's funny, right? Those same people who had so much to say about what I was doing is the same people in my inbox talking about how they want to pick my brain. Okay, well, you can hit that PayPal. Thanks for everybody sharing the video. You can hit that PayPal, or you can go to bit.ly/2, join the bully. Link is in the description. You can go ahead and you can come through. If you really about it. Class is tomorrow night. Class is Thursday night. Every Thursday night I have a private Facebook group, and I also have a video course that goes along with it that breaks down everything from your website to marketing to promotions to advertising to how to sell effectively. So we're doing something that's holistically natural. The other thing is, how are you running a business and you don't have a YouTube channel? Explain this to me. YouTube is the second largest search engine. The majority of people spend 5 times the amount of time on websites that have video, but yet and still you afraid to do video. So you just afraid of money. Let's get down to brass tacks here, people. You're afraid of money. And if you're afraid of money, I mean, that's a choice. That's cool. I'm not afraid of money. I'm afraid of not having any, because I've been there and that's not fun. I'm going to tell you right now, not having money sucks. Oh, God, don't have kids. Oh, please don't have a spouse. And you talking about you ain't got no money because you afraid? Really? Let me tell you something. I know cats right now shoot your pinky toe off for $20. And you afraid to press a button on your phone. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But you have to do what's best for you. Those are choices. They're not the choices I'm going to make. Thanks for everybody sharing the video too. Thanks for everybody sharing the podcast. I want you to understand that I am not here to bash people, but I am here to get people to start thinking differently, because you're not thinking strategically. You're not thinking about what it is that you could be doing. You're thinking about all the things that could happen if you actually took the time and made it happen. If you actually started to step your level up. And then I got people talking about, oh, well, Dave, I'm coming to you. I just got to get my stuff together. Listen, man, if you can't afford $50, to make it happen, I get it. Everybody can't do, this is the Business Bully Podcast. If you go to bit.ly/2, join the bully. I also put the link in the description. You can sign up for the Business Bully Club. Yes, you can go to the Business Bully Podcast. It is on iTunes. It is on Stitcher. It is everywhere. I suggest you subscribe and hit that 5 stars, because I'm not playing any games. I'm not here for that. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I am not for everybody. If you're a punk ass, if you're a cornball, if you are easily offended, if you don't want to actually win, but you want to just act like you're doing something, like some kind of piss poor pink panty housewife, then by all means, this is not the course for you. I am not the coach for you, and I'm cool with that, because I don't want to have to deal with you. You leaving my program is like weakness leaving the body. That's what it is, because it's painful to watch you just be average. It is painful to watch you be mediocre. But people love to mire in the muck of mediocrity. You love to mire in the muck of mediocrity like a bunch of muckers. What the muck is wrong with you? I know what's wrong with you. You don't want to be held accountable for what happens. Let me tell you something. Every single person on this planet is self-made. Only the successful will admit it. You are where you are not because of racism. You are where you are not because of circumstances, not because of gender issues. You are where you are because you choose to accept being a victim of it. I will not be a victim of it. I can't control my blackness. I can't control the fact that I might get pulled over, but I won't be a victim of it. Because I'll sit there and I'll do everything I can to get out of that situation alive, and then I will get on this social media and I'll start calling out the mayor, and I'll start calling out the city council people whose campaigns I've contributed to. I will start making some noise. I'll start going to those radio stations where I used to work and start telling every single person what the hell happened to me until something happens. That's what I'll do. You know what you'll do? You'll go home and say, man, that was a shame that happened to me, but I can't do nothing. And then you'll walk around like, okay. No, that's not what I do. And that's what separates me from you. And you're doing that by choice. You're playing small by choice. You don't want to get a coach, because if you get a coach, then that means that you actually have to have somebody hold you accountable who ain't trying to sleep with you. Because what's happening is your boyfriends, your husbands, your wives, your girlfriends, your babies' mamas, ex-babies' mamas, cousins, sisters, brothers, aunties, uncles are telling you that what you're doing is good enough. And let me break this down for you, because y'all have the system messed up. Y'all believe. See, I'm an Olympic style coach, and this is what that means. If we were to take the high school grading system, let's start at the top and work our way down. So let's just count with me. The highest grade you can get in high school is an A+. That's number one. That's excellent. The grade down from that is an A. Half a step down from that A is an A-. Half a step down from that A- is a B+. Half a step down from that B+ is a B. So if you're just good, that's what a B means, good. If you're at good, you're in 5th place. And you thought this whole time that A's were good for you. You thought all this time that a B was great. No. Again, A+, A, A-, B+, B. That's when you get to good. Hey, Sharonda, I see you. Thanks so much for being here. Make sure that you share the broadcast. So therein lies the difference. You don't want to be held accountable. You don't want to grow. You don't want to take things to the next level. You want to stay exactly where you are. But you'll sit around all day and watch Gary Vaynerchuk videos, or you'll look at Tai Lopez and see his rent a mansion and think that you'll never be able to get there. And the truth of the matter is, it takes an army to make a business bully. So, it's just one of those things where I'm telling you right now, I don't do this by myself. I don't. I do the broadcasts and things of that nature by myself, but I have people who help me. And I help them. And that's how that works. But you don't even have a team in place. So you run around here like a one-man gang, or a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest trying to figure out why you keep falling on your ass. Like, I'm confused. I don't know how to get you to see that this is not how you need to be. And then, you can sit up here and say that, oh, well, you're just mad at Tai Lopez or mad at Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't besmirch a man for getting their money. But I do have an issue when people trying to pander to people because they think that that's the hip thing to do, and black folks eat that up the same way we let people just eat up rock and roll, the same way we let people eat up the hair game. I'm not going to sit up here and let somebody try to coach you who don't understand you, who don't walk in your shoes, who don't understand what it is that you have to go through every single day and never will. And I don't give a damn if you drank piss out of a Pepsi can because you were tricked in 3rd grade. That is nothing to the gallons of piss black people had to drink in this country before y'all stepped foot in here. That's real. Okay, so you can be mad, sad, or glad, but the truth is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. And unfortunately, there's plenty of people who hear what I'm saying who will not do anything. Shadid, who actually happens to be my logistics guy, just said, do-it-yourself is the disease amongst entrepreneurs. Build a team, hire a coach. It will change your life. When I hired a coach, I invested money I did not have in order to make that happen. I made that money back in 2 weeks, and I have been in the black every day since. I have made money every day since. Not some days, not a few of the days out of the week. Every day since I've made money. That's why I don't really have many worries, And I'm injured. I'm hurt. I got things going on with me. I got things I have to do. I got a baby to take care of. I got a young adult to take care of. I have a wife. Like we're working on things. Like it's a lot. So don't act like I'm sitting here, tiptoeing through the tulips because I'm not running around here in a rented Range Rover. I don't do that. I keep it very funky. And I'm also not going to sit around and, waste money on some car that you think that I should have in order to prove to you how great I am. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. No, sorry, not. Y'all buy cars. I bought a watch company. It's different levels, and it's different choices. I made a choice. Y'all made a different choice. And that's fine. If you're happy with your choice, by all means, namaste. If you're not happy with your choice, I implore you to get a coach. If it's not me, find somebody. Just get with somebody so that you can get some knowledge, so that you can make something happen. I'm here for you. I ain't for everybody. I am tough, but I'm honest. And at least you'll know where you stand with me. bit.ly/2 join the bully. I had a lady tag me in a post on Facebook, and she said, I'm so upset right now because I bought Pitch Close Upsell Repeat and my husband won't give it to me. He won't put it down. He keeps reading it and rereading it and rereading it. And I was so blown away by that. I got her number and I called her. And I said, listen, I'm going to send you a copy. Yeah, JT, definitely going to talk about that. What's up, Key? I see you. Absolutely. So, yeah, in case you haven't heard, I acquired the Benson Watch Company. You can go to bensonwatch.com and check it out. We are redoing the website. A couple new lines coming out. The Bully Sport line will be coming out later on this summer. So we got a lot of work to do. But that's the thing, man. I learned from my father, if you want something. What up, Ty? Good to see you. I learned from my father, if you want something, make sure you get something that you'll never have to work for again in life. So if you're hungry, buy a McDonald's or a supermarket. If you like watches, well, buy a watch company. I said, okay, Dad. I just wish my dad could see the fact that I actually bought a watch company. He'd be happy. My dad was a big watch freak, which pretty much makes me a big watch freak. But I'm tired of black people buying Patek Philippe's or knockoff Patek Philippe's, because most people ain't affording a Patek Philippe, but a Audemars Piguet or a Rolex. Listen, sweeping movement, incredible detail, all different types of end. I mean, look at how sexy this watch is. I could do this all day. I'm going to put up pictures so you can really see it, but I would rather buy the company because I watch, and that's what people do. And see, when you buy the company, you don't have to own all of the company. You just have to own enough where you have a controlling interest and you can start making some moves and setting up some expansion. I'm not doing it for me. I'm overcharging Negroes for what they did to the coal crash. No, seriously, I'm doing it for my father's legacy, and I'm doing it for my daughter's legacy. See, that's the difference. Y'all don't think like that. I'm 40. I may, if I'm lucky, got another 40, 50 years in the tank. So in other words, there's probably more days behind me than there are ahead of me. Maybe a few more if I'm lucky. But at the end of the day, I want to have something that proves that I was here, that I can leave to my children, that they will have, even if they choose not to join that business. That's why I have other businesses. But it's a shame. Dr. Claude Anderson, No Relations, said this. You should be ashamed that have to have your children out here going to somebody else's neighborhood to ask for a job when you should be creating something that they can work in. You ought to be that teacher. Because when you allow other people to indoctrinate them with their beliefs and their thought systems, then there's an issue. But yes, I am the new owner of the Benson Watch Company. And Marcel Benson is an amazing genius. He's 27 years old. He's an amazing watch designer. And this is going to be the new face of watches. And so you will start to see folks pop up with these watches and make it happen. I'm not playing no games out here. Just because you don't see me moving, just like this hand, you don't see that hand moving, doesn't mean that time ain't passing. Doesn't mean that I ain't playing around here, because I ain't playing around at all. This is serious business here, people. And I suggest you start getting a little bit more serious about your business. So if you really want to start making moves, man, bit.ly/2 join the bully. That's pretty much all I got for y'all this week. I am going to put this up on All Hip Hop, so y'all can check it out. I am going to have an article with it. But I'm not playing no games, man. I'm really not. And I don't know why y'all are playing games like y'all got all this time in the world, man. Ain't none of us getting any younger. I mean, look how great his hair is getting. You see what I'm saying? Like, no, I ain't got time. But I'm going to go watch some wrestling, close a couple more deals, and make a few more things happen. Thanks so much for sharing the video. Again, bit.ly/2 join the bully. bit.ly/2 join the bully. Go ahead and get your membership popping. Because if you're about that life, and I think some of y'all are about that life, then come and get this work. It ain't going to be easy, but nothing worth having ever is. And that's the thing, right? You want to make sure that you're doing something that is going to benefit you. Thanks for sharing the video. Thank you for being here. I hope that you enjoy the show. Thank you so much for taking the time. And we'll definitely check you out, man. So I will check y'all out next time, and y'all be easy.
He's one of the leading business coaches and branding experts in the US, generating millions of dollars for brands like Nutrisystem, The Ricky Smiley Morning Show, iHeartMedia, and Les Brown. He's impacted over 1 million people from the stage. Now, best-selling author David Anderson releases his latest book, Pitch, Close, Upsell, Repeat, a practical guide to sales dominance. Learn how to conquer fear of selling, how to get people to buy from you, and more. This book will motivate and inspire you to unleash the sales beast inside of you. Pitch, Close, Upsell, Repeat by David Anderson is available at Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, or wherever fine books are sold.